Welcome to the Collide Kids podcast, hosted by Christen Clark. This is a show for kids and families. You are going to meet new people and have fun while you listen. Let's do it!
Hey y'all, welcome to the Collide Kids podcast. I'm your host, Christen Clark. The Collide Kids podcast is a show for kids and families where we learn together how life and faith collide. I am so glad that you're listening today. If you're new, I just want to say welcome. I'm so glad you're here and I hope you will stick around. Hey, be sure to listen to the end of every episode. That's where we have our kids only segment where kids just like you get to be on the show. Well, I guess it's pretty obvious, but I am a big podcast fan. I mean, it is obvious, right? Because I'm making a podcast. Well, I really enjoy listening to podcasts too, and I always am trying to find a podcast that my family will enjoy. We like to have something to listen to in the car, or when we are cleaning the house, or maybe winding down at night before bed. It just gets us away from screens. And as a mom, I actually appreciate when they're sometimes educational, right? So I was really excited to find out about this podcast called the ABC Story Sisters. The ABC Story Sisters is a storytime podcast from young sisters Alexa, Bristol, and Charlotte. Get it? ABC. They bring classic literature to life for the littlest podcast fans. They are excited to use this podcast to help others and introduce families to classic literature and their passion for books. So I am delighted to introduce you to the sisters behind the show. They are from Aledo, Texas. Alexa is almost 10. She is the expert storyteller and sister wrangler. Bristol is 2. And she helps with sound effects and eating snacks. My kind of girl. And Charlotte, who is 6, she loves to laugh and she has really great questions. Listen, this episode is going to put you in a really good mood. Here is my conversation with Alexa, Charlotte, and their mom, Charity, from the ABC Story Sisters podcast. Again, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Blast off.
Okay.
Hi, girls. Welcome to the Collide Kids podcast. I am so excited to have you guys here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Did you?
I am joined by Alexa and Charlotte, who are part of a podcast called the ABC Sisters Storytime. Is that what it's called?
ABC Story Sisters.
I'm sorry, ABC Story Sisters. And so you guys have this podcast. Will you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I'm Alexa. We got the podcast started because we wanted to do a YouTube channel, but Mom said no. So
We did a 100 podcast.
we did a podcast instead.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. And then
Charlie.
Charlotte, introduce yourself.
I'm Charlotte Robinson.
And how old are you, Charlotte?
5, and Alexa's Alexa Robinson.
And how old is Alexa?
10.
Well, you're almost 10. Almost 10.
Almost 10. That's awesome. My daughter is almost 10, so that's really cool. All right. Well, I am so excited to hear more about your podcast and how you got started. I've only had one other kid on the show. Usually I interview adults, so I'm really excited to talk to some kids today. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And this part is always so funny because when I ask an adult to tell me their favorite joke, most of the time they're really, really not funny. So I'm really hoping you guys have a funny joke today. So do you guys have a joke you want to share?
Charlotte, you want to go first?
Charlotte, you want to go first? Do you remember your joke?
What do you call a daddy unicorn? Popcorn.
Popcorn. I like that. That's a good one. All right. What about you, Alexa?
What did the shark say after eating the clownfish? That tasted funny.
That tasted. See, you guys are so much better at jokes. And you guys actually do jokes on your show too, right?
Yeah, we have kids.
Sundays.
Oh, send. I forgot the word.
Sunday
Send.
Sunday silly.
No, they send jokes for Sunday Sillies.
Okay. And they get to send in a recording of themselves. We do that too at the end of our show. We always have kids send in jokes and things like that. So that's cool that you guys do that. So is that where you get all your funny jokes?
Most of them. And I will say thank you, Jack, because that actually is his joke.
Oh, okay. So thank you, Jack, for sending in that joke because that helped Alexa with today. That's awesome. All right. So let's get started and talking about your podcast. First of all, it's all about reading, right? It's all about stories. So what do you love the most about reading books and stories like that?
I love that you can just find that a book is an adventure. And so you can just zone out and there's no right or wrong answer when you ask yourself, would I do this? Or is this something I'd like to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
I like that. It's a reading about Jesus.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Now you guys have been doing what book have you been covering for your first season?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Charlotte, do you like that book? Do you like The Wizard of Oz?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What do you like about it?
I like that she dreams about that she's at another place where there's munchkins.
Well, actually, it's real in the book, but in the play, in the movie, it's a dream.
Oh, okay. See, that's interesting because when you read books, you think it's going to be just like the movie, and most of the time they changed a little bit in the movie. So if you read the book, you get the real story. So that's what you guys did in your podcast, right?
About the slippers.
Mm-hmm. They also changed the slippers. Instead of ruby slippers, it's silver slippers.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So why did you guys decide to do a podcast? What made you want to do a podcast?
Oh, Mom made it up.
I did not have the bandwidth for a channel, if I'm being quite honest.
Oh, and Mom also said we're doing a YouTube channel.
No,
We are
she
not.
didn't.
Nice try.
We are.
So you want to do a YouTube channel, but Mom said a podcast would be better. Do you like doing the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
I like that you can just sit in the room, and I like that if you mess up, you know that you can try again. No, it doesn't matter, because, well, amazing Mom over here can edit it.
That's right.
What's edit it?
And you also like,
Oh,
what's your favorite part?
they're little bloopers.
Yes, those are fun. I love that.
My favorite one is dismally. What does dismally mean? It means you have to go to bed early because your mommy said so. That one was her.
Hey,
And
that's a good guess.
And I also like Bristol's little barks for Toto. She go
Like this.
woof woof, and in some of the bloopers, she'll say, "Can you do a doggy sound?" And she goes, "No, no, no."
And when Mom made it, Dad needed help with his roar, and Bristol said, "No,
And I heard your dad was on there too. So your whole family gets to be on it. Yeah, and then you've had some friends. Yeah, who's Nora?
Nora
She's our
is,
nanny.
Oh, okay.
She also lives with us.
Okay, very cool. Well, tell me a little bit more about podcasting. Like, how long does it take you to make a show?
Episode usually.
Oh, 30 minutes at the most.
Okay. And-
minutes at least if I go really well.
That's your part.
Yeah. So just the recording part takes about 30 minutes. So do you make up the script from the book, or do you like write out what you're going to say?
No. No. Mom does that.
But you help, right?
I help in certain ways, like when like my biggest creation for the podcast was Squirt. That wasn't actually in the script. I just made that up.
Okay. What's Squirt? What is that?
Her.
No.
The squirt. The squirt.
You are.
I think I came up with that in like the 3rd episode. I don't know.
So
Okay.
I will adapt the book into the script, and then they will add their parts that are personalized. So like Charlotte's inserts and Alexa's inserts, they'll add those parts.
Squirt.
Like Squirt. I love it. Tell me about what you're planning for your next season. Are you guys going to do another book, or are you still going to do Wizard of Oz?
We're doing another book. We're doing Alice in Wonderland.
I'm
Ready?
gonna be
Ready?
Alice.
Ready?
Oh, I also had that book.
So when you guys do Alice in Wonderland, do you guys pick a character and you're that character the whole time?
Actually, Mom kind of picks the character.
Next one, can I pick the character that Alexa and I and you are?
That's not true. You picked who you wanted to be.
Well, I
Can
said
I
should I
pick
be
who I want to
Alice
be?
or a cat because I said which one has more lines.
Who's talked the most?
Yeah, well, you're the oldest, so you probably need a little bit more of the lines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's our creator.
2.
Yeah. Yeah. And in the podcast, when I've been listening to it, you guys do a really good job about sharing it with each other. Like Alexa really walks through the story so well. And then I love when Charlotte comes in and asks different questions. And then you said Bristol, sometimes she'll do like sound effects or.
She'll woof.
Okay. Because she's just 2. So that'll be fun when she starts saying more words, right?
Yes, and she will be the bunny in Alice in Wonderland.
That's the bunny.
Oh, she's not. Hazel, our friend
She's
across
the
the
cat.
street.
We'll be right back after this. You know, raising kids in the digital age isn't easy, but Bark Technology makes products that help parents keep their kids safe online and in real life. They have an app, a phone, and a home device that lets families set parental controls on their internet-connected devices. I love the app because it helps us manage screen time and blocks websites and apps we want our kids to avoid. It also sends alerts and gives us the ability to monitor texts and social media and even track your child's location. Visit bark.us to learn more about how you can keep your kids safe online. Use the code COLLIDEKIDS to get 15% off your subscription of the Bark app.
She's Alice's cat.
Oh, Bristol is?
So you're the cat in Wonderland. She's the cat in real life.
Okay, so Bristol's actually the cat in real life. I'm the cat in Wonderland.
Bristol's the cat because she has no lines in real life. You're the cat that talks.
Does she at least say meow?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's really good at that. What does the kitty say? Meow.
What does the kitty say?
More so
Yes,
sounds like
yes,
me.
Okay, I love it. You guys are silly. This is fun. Okay, so tell me, let me ask you a little bit about each sister. So, Alexa, what is something that Bristol and Charlotte are really good at as far as podcasting? What are they good at?
They're really good at bugging me. They're really good at comforting me,
Mhm.
at being sisters, and they're good at teamwork.
Okay, that's good. Charlotte, what's something that Alexa's really good at?
She's good at being silly in the podcast, and she's also good at doing it, and she also sometimes pretend she doesn't know what the words are.
That's you.
That's you, not me. That's you. You.
Charlotte, is she good at teaching you what the words are?
Mm-hmm.
I like how she says, Alexa, when will I know all the words?
One time at VVS.
VB, not VB.
VBS. Everyone kept saying, turn the lights.
Yeah, some kids started a chant saying, Alexa, turn on the lights. And then everybody joined that one kid.
Oh, man. That's tough. And you're like, come on. You should have gone over and just turned off the lights instead. Do like opposite of what they said, right?
Oh, and we were also practicing like our dear brothers and sisters, when any trouble comes your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. When you all know,
me and my friend started a whole chant.
Tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. James 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, I like that verse. Now that was part of your VBS chant. Like that was part of your VBS program.
Well, it was actually like after VBS, so we were saying about sports camp. Oh. That was the verse for sports camp, and me and my friend there, it was only us two like sitting together somewhere in a corner, and we just started saying it, and then someone near us started saying it, and then someone near her started saying it, and then before we know it, the whole room is saying it.
That's great.
About like 40 kids.
Yeah.
Alexa, I had the same question.
You mean,
what was your question, Charlotte? What did you want to say?
It was the same thing about that we all started saying the embellishment.
The memory verse.
Oh yeah, the memory verse.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about like you guys said earlier that you had a favorite verse. Was that the verse you were going to talk about today?
That's her verse. Mine's John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life.
Good job. And why do you like that verse?
Because it really relates to me. Because I'm adopted, and I love being adopted. And fun fact, I was actually adopted by my aunt and uncle. So she's actually my cousin, this chubby cheeked girl. And she's actually my cousin, but she's my sister.
That's awesome.
Sisters.
I don't know if that's a thing. No.
So you said you love John 3:16 because it relates to you.
Yes.
What is it about that, about learning that God loved the world? What is it about that makes that relate to you?
Because when I was like 4, my birth mom told me that God didn't exist, but he still loved me even though I didn't believe that he was real.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's so good that you believe that and know that God loves you no matter what, right? I think that's an awesome thing about that he loves everyone in the whole world. So that's a great verse to have memorized. Good job. Charlotte, will you say your verse one more time?
Dear brothers and sisters, when any trouble comes your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. When you all know, when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. James 1, 2, and 3.
That is awesome. And what do you love about that verse?
That it's about everything.
I don't know about Everything.
Well, it's about your faith and what happens to your faith when it's tested. What does that verse say? What happens to your faith?
Your
It says 1, 2, and 3.
endurance,
Your endurance has a chance
to grow.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Charlotte, she's asking what it means in your heart.
Oh.
So what does it do for you what does that verse tell us when we have trouble?
To pray to God.
And God's going to help us to do
And
what?
God's going to help us to do the to grow. And have a birthday and eat cake on your birthday.
I like that interpretation of it. That's good. That's good.
We're working on connecting the head and the heart here.
That's good. Hey, that's good.
Beautiful moment, and then it turns into birthday cakes and eating the cake.
You know, that's all. When you're between the ages of 4 and 7, nothing else matters except for your birthday. So I understand that.
Yours is soon, isn't it, Charlotte?
And cheese. Cheese really matters.
Oh, cheese. Yeah.
Your
When-
cheese really
When's
matters.
your birthday?
You are a cheese person.
Miss Kristen asks, when's your birthday?
Who's?
On August.
In
August what?
August. That's really soon. How old are you going to be?
6.
6. Are you excited about being 6?
16.
You're going to be 16? That's amazing. You're going to skip all those numbers and just go straight to 16 and drive in a car, right?
She didn't even have her driver's license yet.
That's amazing.
Or her driver's test.
Very cool. What about you? When's your birthday, Alexa?
August 30th, 26 days after her.
And you're gonna be 16.
No, I'm going
You're-
to 10.
You're going to be 10. You're going to be double digits. Are you excited about being double digits? That's a
I'm
pretty
talking
big
about
deal.
being triple digits when I'm older.
That would be amazing too. But double digits is pretty cool. Well, this has been really fun. You guys are a lot of fun, and I can tell that you love each other and you love to be silly. So I'm sure the next season of the podcast is going to be so much fun as well. Mom, what do you want to tell us a little bit about the upcoming season of the podcast?
Yeah, so they
Nice.
start Alice in Wonderland on Tuesday, August 3rd. Charlotte is going to be Alice, and Alexa's our narrator, and
The Wonderland cat.
yes, she plays several different parts, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We are looking forward to doing a different story, even though we love The Wizard of Oz. It was fun to finish that one, and we pick stories that are in the public domain so that we have the ability to adapt them.
Oh, okay.
To kind of change the story as we see fit. So
Like, off with their heads instead
Like-
of that, because that will scare children. Off to their beds.
Oh,
That's
and
very wise. That's very wise.
we can make it
I have another
adaptable for ages, and it's really fun because Charlotte is getting to the point where she actually can read and she can understand a little bit better, and so it's going to be fun to watch them grow and kind of adapt different stories. And then our season 3, we're actually going to feature some local authors, so we're going to have children's authors as opposed to doing a single book.
Okay.
We'll feature a lot of different authors in that season.
That's very cool. That sounds like a fun plan and a lot of good stuff. And I love that your podcasts are short, so it's just enough. Like if your kids are going to bed or they're getting started with their day, it's just a fun little thing to put on when you're driving. So I love that your podcasts are so good for families.
Yes, that was the goal, and I know that we're always looking for something, other than just TV to put on, and it's really nice to have something kids can relate to and listen to and use their imaginations to think about the story and think about what they're listening to and get some skills to hopefully help them when they're reading a story as opposed to listening to it as well. And then tell her for Christmas, what do we plan to do, Alexa?
Bible series.
Yeah.
Oh,
about the
cool.
birth of Jesus.
So we'll do the ultimate story for Christmas. So we'll do some individual stories for season 3, but we'll end it around Christmas time so that we can share the gospel with people. And so that's, obviously the ultimate goal is to use our gifts and our talents to honor God. And so that's kind of what we're planning to do for the end of season 3. Charlotte, you've been very patient.
I love that. That's a great thing. Yes.
I want to tell another joke.
Okay.
You have another joke? Let's hear it.
Why did the pumpkin scare the kiddo? Because it went boom and then jumped up and down running.
I think it's because it wanted to.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
We're not quite to the point where jokes have a punchline. They're more so just words put together.
I like it. And it's pumpkin season. As soon as it starts in August, I'm ready for all the pumpkins and pumpkin spice latte and all that stuff, even though it's still really, really hot. I'm sure it's hot there in Texas too, right?
Yes, we can't even go outside right now. We would roast.
It's 100 degrees.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, this has been so fun, girls. Thank you so much for sharing your story today. And I always like to end the show by asking my guests to tell me a memory from when they were a kid. But you guys are kids. So what's a memory from just what's happening in your life right now that you want to talk about?
I was actually told this, and sometimes I can actually kind of see myself doing this. When I was 3, that was the first and one of the only times I ever got to meet my aunt and uncle. And I would just, my dad right now, he would put food up to his mouth and I would go and just eat it off his fork.
Okay. That's cute.
Part 2.
Alexa, what's a memory you had from camp?
Um,
You just went to Pine Cove. What was the cool thing you did at Pine Cove?
Sleep. Because I had the weirdest dreams.
Okay.
That was one. And then I also liked club because that's where we would sing 3 Bible related songs and then we would talk about Jesus.
I love that. And that was at what camp?
Pine Cove.
Pine Cove. Awesome.
Her dreams were about pumpkins actually walking with
No. No.
You are so silly. Charlotte, do you have a memory you want to share today?
Oh yeah, you can tell her about.
I put my face underwater.
Like 2 days ago.
Was that for the first time?
To tell you my dream I had about last night.
Okay.
I think it's about pumpkins walking with hands.
No, I'm gonna say it. Okay, so the pumpkins' feet were hands, and then the pumpkin's hands were legs. And then he was walking, and he went to go get some food because he was hungry.
That was your dream? That is so silly. Did you just wake up laughing? Yeah. Well, this has been so fun, girls. Thank you so much for sharing your story today and talking about your podcast. And I can't wait for our listeners to check out your podcast. I think it's so fun. And you guys do a really great job. And Mom does a really good job, too, of editing and putting it all together. So good job to Mom and all the sisters.
I wish we could have, thank you. And I wish we could have had little B here.
Yes. Maybe next time. Maybe we'll do it again next time.
Little baby here.
Well, you guys keep doing what you're doing and keep sharing stories with people and your passion for books. I think it's awesome. So you guys are doing a great job.
Thanks.
I copied you. No.
Oh man, that was so much fun. Those sisters sounded a little bit like me and my sister when we were younger. They had some great jokes, and I am so impressed at how well they shared their Bible verses. I also loved how Mom shared that their goal was to use the gifts and talents that they have to honor God. And that should be our goal for anything, right? Well, season 2 premiered this month, and they are diving into the exciting story of Alice in Wonderland. So if you've never read this book before, I highly recommend you go check out their podcast. In season 1, they talked about the book, The Wizard of Oz. And then, like Mom said, they have a lot of really good things coming up around the Christmas season as well. Hey, and be sure to check out their website. It's abcstorysisters.com to learn more about their family and how they are using their podcast to give back. Well, now it's time for the kids only segment. This is the part of the show where you get to be on the podcast. So I'm so happy to introduce you to my new friend, Peter.
Hi, my name is Peter. I'm 8 years old and I'm going to be sharing John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life.
Thank you so much, Peter, for sharing that. I love that verse, and that's the same verse that Alexa shared today, so that's perfect. Well, hey, I would love to hear your favorite Bible verse, or maybe an encouraging quote that you like from a book or a movie, or maybe you have a favorite joke that you want to share. You can find the information about how to send that to me through my social media. I'm on Facebook at the Collide Kids Podcast, or on Instagram at Collide Kids Pod. And you can also go to my website. It's thecollidekidspodcast.com. And don't forget to subscribe and follow this podcast so that new episodes will automatically load each week into whatever podcast app you're using. And it would mean so much to me if you would leave a rating and a review. That really does help other people find out about the show, and they can listen too. Well, I am really excited to kick off this new season with the ABC Story Sisters, and I have a lot of amazing guests coming up that I can't wait for you to meet and hear their stories as well. I hope you are enjoying getting back in the swing of things with school starting, and I hope that you're getting a lot of reading done. And if you need some reading inspiration, I know a really good podcast you should check out. Well, hey, before we go, I always like to say, in case no one has told you yet today, I would love to be the first to remind you that God loves you so much. Thanks for listening.
You don't have to go very far looking for bad news because somehow it just finds you. So finding peace in the chaos can be really difficult, but it doesn't have to be because the River mobile app exists. The River is a Christian music radio station dedicated to playing music to help you get through life's toughest moments or life's happiest moments and everywhere in between. And all from artists who love Jesus and are real people just like you. Listening is easy. You can download it wherever you get apps from. Just search 1049 The River or listen online at riverradio.com. And know that The River is proud to partner with the Collide Kids Podcast.